Welcome to BCG. Are you ready for your BCG online assessment? Well, which one do I need to take? Who knows? This is exactly the question we will address in this video. If you are applying to the Boston Consulting Group and have started your research on the initial BCG online test stage, you may have realized that nowadays the BCG offices make use of a myriad of different online assessments. And in some BCG offices, you have to pass 1, 2 or even 3 online tests before you get to see a human interviewer. There is the BCG Online Case, BCG's flagship assessment, but also the BCG Consulting Career Assessment, the BCG Cognitive Test, the BCG Math Test, and of course the BCG Pymetrics Test, amongst some others. In this video, I will therefore deliver for you on 2 things to help you get into BCG. First, I will briefly recap for you on the general recruiting process at the Boston Consulting Group and how the BCG online assessments matter to your application process. Second, I will uncover for you BCG's black box of online assessments and tell you exactly what to expect and how to prepare for them. I'm Jack and spent 5 years with McKinsey as a consultant and project manager, and here on UN Consulting, my mission is to help you thrive in your own business and consulting careers. In my coming videos, I'm going to offer you detailed walkthrough demonstration videos for some of these BCG online tests, so if that interests you, come back soon and hit the subscribe button and the bell. In case you do not make it to the end of this video, I'd like to make you aware of my free consulting online test prep kit, in which by now I have compiled free test preparation links and resources for BCG's and other companies' online assessments on more than 25 pages. You can download it immediately and for free by signing up to my UN Consulting newsletter, link in the description below. Let's get started and dive into the BCG recruiting process. To get into BCG, you usually have to pass 3 stages: the online assessment stage, the first interview round, and the second interview round. Once you have passed the online assessment stage, and I will solve the puzzle for you in a moment, during the first interview round, you will be interviewed by 1 to 3 BCG consultants who all have to agree to advance you to the next and final stage. If you have performed very well until there, you may get away with even just 1 successful round 2 interview, though it is a common scenario that you face 2 more interviews at the final stage of your recruiting process, leading to a total of 3 to 5 interviews. If you succeed in all rounds, you land your BCG offer. However, the exact setup varies across countries and even BCG offices. So for instance, in some US offices, you first need to pass several online assessments. As part of your round 1 interviews, you then still need to crack the BCG Online Case, BCG's flagship assessment, which is assessed together with 1 case interview dealt by a BCG consultant. Alternatively, and if you are lucky, your specific BCG office may skip the initial online assessment stage entirely, and you may straight start with the BCG Online Case and case interviews in round 1. To present you with another special case, the German and Austrian BCG offices appear to have suspended the use of a BCG Online Case last year, and you do not have to go through an online-only assessment stage. Instead, you now need to pass the so-called BCG Cognitive Test, or in German Cognitive Test, in conjunction with a virtual case interview. In the second round, you need to pass 2 in-person case interviews, unless you are an intern, where the final 2 case interviews may be conducted online too. Gosh, these guys have become so cheap nowadays. So, lesson number 1, find out which exact recruiting steps you have to undergo and which online assessments you need to take and prepare for, ideally before you submit your application. And if you cannot find it out online or are not sure, call your local recruiter. It is their job to explain you just that. Now, let us look at what awaits you in BCG's black box of online assessments. BCG online assessment types. Now, I will uncover the black box of BCG online assessments for you. What are all these and how can you prepare for them? There used to be the BCG Potential Test, which was also referred to as the BCG Online Test. It was a multiple choice test with 23 questions to be solved within 45 minutes. However, this has been phased out completely and BCG does not use it anymore, so forget it. And whenever somebody talks about the BCG Online case lasting for longer than 40 minutes and with multiple choice questions only, you know it is outdated information. The Pymetrics test, however, is an assessment to be taken very seriously. Some offices of both BCG and Bain, and especially in the United States, demand you take the Pymetrics test as the very first online assessment step. For BCG, this means that you may need to pass the Pymetrics test before being invited to the BCG Online case, or that you get invited to both assessments simultaneously. Be aware that BCG may only give you 48 hours to complete the Pymetrics test. The Pymetrics test in its standard form presents a series of 12 so-called mini games, promising nothing less than capturing your character as a human being to evaluate if it matches the profile of a typical BCG consultant. I personally have doubts that a Pymetrics test is that powerful, but nonetheless, if you are prompted with it, you will need to pass it. The good news is that I have already broken down for you the winning strategies for each of the most common 12 Pymetrics games and what I believe is one of the most engaging Pymetrics video tutorials out there. You can find it here. Another assessment that you may be prompted with by some BCG offices, especially in the US, before receiving the invitation to the BCG Online case is the BCG Consulting Career Assessment, or CCA, which has come out around mid-2024. Here are some key facts. If you get invited to the CCA, you may need to take it within just 24 hours. The CEA consists of 3 key components. In the behaviorial section part, BCG asks you to self-assess your personality through a series of multiple choice statements about yourself. In the second brain teasers or logic test part, you have 12 minutes to answer 8 questions that cover mathematical algebra, sequences, pattern recognition and the like. In the behaviorial section part 2, you are asked to log in statements that you believe others would say about you and your personality. Naturally, in the 2 behavioral test parts, you should pick statements that you believe best match the character of a BCG consultant. The most challenging part of a CCA is the math quiz part, given the time constraint is rather tight. However, I have some good news for you here as well. As far as I know, at least the middle part of the CCA is provided by the SHL test company, and its questions most probably are extracted from SHL's flagship test, the SHL General Ability Test. If you want to prepare for the brain teaser part of your BCG Consulting Career Assessment, you are lucky because just recently I've published what I believe is the best SHL video tutorial out there, in which I guide you through 13 SHL type mock test questions for you to practice with me interactively. Check it out here. Also, I again invite you to download my free online test prep kit, where I have compiled links for you on how to practice the SHL numerical, deductive and inductive reasoning test modules for free. If you want to prepare for your BCG Consulting Career Assessment, you can download my test prep kit immediately and for free by signing up to my UN Consulting newsletter, link in the description below. And if you enjoy this video this far, kindly honor me with your like and hit that subscribe button for more top quality advice to follow. Less common in the US, another BCG assessment that you may come across in conjunction with the ones just discussed is the BCG One-Way Video Interview. Put in a nutshell, during a one-way video interview, you are asked 3 CV-type questions and need to record and submit your video answers online via the third-party Spark Hire platform. Questions the one-way interview may draw for you from its cookie-cutter pool could be: tell me about yourself. Or tell me about a teamwork situation where you had to overcome a challenge. Or Tell me how you solved the conflict with your superior. I am planning to share some more tips on BCG video interview formats in my next video. If you need to take this assessment, for your reference, I have added 2 specific links on the BCG One-Way Interview to my online test prep kit guide that I just mentioned. Back to our black box, a somewhat different contender is the so-called BCG Cognitive Test or Cognitive Test. In contrast to the Pymetrics Test and the CCA, the Cognitive Test is not a pre-test to the BCG Online Case, but presents an alternative to it. As mentioned before, the Cognitive Test has appeared last year mainly in the German BCG offices and seems to have replaced the BCG Online Case, at least temporarily, which is curious since BCG Germany has in the past relied on the BCG Online Case too. The Cognitive Test is a mixture of a logic and math as well as a stress test. You are asked to solve a whopping number of 80 questions in just 30 minutes, so a little mathematical calculation yields us the insight that you have just 22.5 seconds per question, but really is not very much. If you'd like me to feature the BCG Cognitive Test in more detail in the future with a dedicated walkthrough video, please let me know and leave a comment below. If you, however, are applying for a BCG job in Germany or Austria and want to prepare specifically for the cognitive test, then I can reveal to you that it matches the so-called People Test Logic Assessment provided by the Danish test provider company People Test Systems. And I found out that for the People Test Logic Assessment, a paid simulation already exists. If that is relevant, I leave the link in the video description below for you to check it out. I want to briefly touch on one more BCG online assessment that a few of you may come across. In its London office only, BCG will ask you, just as the first step, to take a math assessment. In the BCG Math Test, you need to solve 40 questions in 20 minutes, and I believe that it is provided by test provider Cirrus, which indeed has BCG as one of its reference companies, proudly announcing that the BCG test takers were thrilled about the test's graphical user interface. Well, I'm afraid I have come to the conclusion that a specific simulation of the Cirrus assessment or BCG Math Test does not yet exist, so that I suggest that you check out my SHL video tutorial mentioned earlier and focus on the SHL numerical reasoning test section for your preparation. Now, don't despair, since we still have 4 assessments in our black box here, since they actually all point to the same assessment, and which is the most common BCG online test, the BCG Online Case. In the BCG Online Case, Casey, the chatbot, takes you through one coherent business case from start to finish. That is, you need to structure the case at its beginning, run some analytics, and present a summary at the end. You will have to solve 8 to 10 questions, which come in 6 different question types and are designed to assess different skills of yours. I will take you through all BCG Online Case question types and invite you to practice them with me interactively in my next video. BCG has recently become a bit more generous and increased the time constraint from initially 25 to 30 minutes to 35 minutes, which is most certainly the case if you receive an invitation to the BCG Higher Quotient Online Assessment, which is just a rebranded version of the same BCG Online Case with minor modifications. Coming back to our black box, we have actually been dealing with the BCG Online Case, the BCG Higher Quotient Online Assessment, and the Casey chatbot interview simultaneously, which all mean the same. What we are left with is the video assessment, which however is part of the BCG Online Case, and I will cover that with a detailed demonstration in my next video too. As I said earlier, I'm going to take you in detail through the BCG Online Case questions in my next video tutorial, and you can find free BCG Online Case prep links in my prep kit already now. However, if you cannot wait and want to practice with several BCG mock case interviews immediately, this program is the best. I have verified it is always kept up to date, and it comes with a 100% money back guarantee. Hence you only need to pay if you actually pass the BCG Online Case. For further details, I leave a link in the video description below for you as well. As you have seen, the number and types of BCG online assessments varies over location and time. If you are applying to BCG right now, it would be really helpful to everyone watching if you would drop in the comments below just the BCG office you are applying to and which online assessments you need to take if you know that already. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe and share. I strongly recommend you to download my free online test prep kit with my compilation of links to free BCG online test prep resources, link in the video description below. And you almost certainly need to get ready for the BCG Online Case. Join me in the next video in which I break the BCG Online Case down for you in detail and invite you to practice it with me. And for any other online tests, I've probably already covered them in this playlist. See you soon, Jack.